We're on to learning unit number 12. And this is a learning unit that you really are putting everything together. So let me explain that. So in this learning unit, we're talking about both interpreting and then reporting research findings. And that is chapter 14 of your text. I think you're going to find this chapter to be one of the easiest to read and understand, but really a very, very important chapter for the work that you're doing this week. So we know that interpreting research findings is important. We also know that interpretation can be quite challenging, especially when the study includes parametric and non-parametric tests, right? So in this final stage of the research process, results need to be conveyed clearly to others, and they have to be interpreted accurately. So when research findings are presented, they have been interpreted and discussed. So part of the research process is dissemination of your findings on your clinical question. So it's putting out there, you've done a lot of hard work, and that is for evidence-based practice. You've asked the clinical question, you've interpreted and analyzed the studies that are available to you on this to answer your question, and now you need to find a way, and that's either, if you're doing actual research, oftentimes it's publication, most of the time it's publication, but in evidence-based practice, what you're doing is a presentation. So typically a poster presentation. So this is getting your findings on your clinical question out to others. So in this week, we're actually preparing our evidence-based practice posters so that I can provide you with some feedback so that you can finish up with doing a poster presentation. So this week, you're going to read chapter 14, which I would recommend you start off right off the bat with reading chapter 14, and then compose a thorough poster representation of your findings. And the guidelines are available to you that tell you exactly what you need to include, but a title, your name, introduction, key terms if appropriate, research question, the PICO question, literature review findings, and then your conclusions and recommendations. And you're going to do that in the form of a poster presentation. So again, chapter 14, there are not going to be any other online activities. You don't have to do a discussion board. You're automatically going to earn 20 points for all your hard work so far. You will read chapter 14 and complete the quiz just because I think it is essential information. And finally, you're going to submit your final draft of your research poster. So again, I've given you some research poster examples. They're the same as has been available for the last couple of weeks. And you're going to watch this video about preparing poster presentations. I think it'll be helpful. It's not essential. You're not going to be tested on it, and you do not have to have it for your discussion board posting. You do not have to have viewed it, but I think you'll enjoy just going over this. And then you're going to do quiz number 12, and that's the information in chapter 14, and your final poster draft. So as you know, the information is within that final poster draft, and you can get the guidelines as far as what you need to include by clicking on here, and you're going to submit it. So that's the end. I'm not going to make this long and drawn out. You remember, I'm available if you have questions as you're putting your final draft of your poster together. Please let me know. Otherwise, have a great week and enjoy.